So again, this is the second part of our sweep. My name is Darrin Fishert, Whiteland High School, South Side Indianapolis, school of about 2000. Again, all those championships that you see down there are not because of me. They're because we have a system that we believe in. We've got really good coaches and really good players. A lot of those coaches are on the call right now that have been with us in the past. They're at places all over the country. When you develop the offense, number one, I think power with deception. One of the things that you're going to see here, I think deception is the lost art in football. And we are going to work really hard. Hopefully, when you watch this tape, you will see our guys faking, doing the things that they need to do to hide the football. Number two, I think you have to have a signature play. For us, it's the fly sweep. If you establish a signature play and you design the rest of your attack around how does the defense react to this and what play do I call next? That's what we shared in the first video that you saw of the series. We shared with you how we read the defense. I'll buzz through it very quickly. It's a lot more detailed in the first session. Define all drill techniques. In the last session, we talked about the techniques of the quarterback, the techniques of the sweeper, and we just buzzed over the technique of the perimeter blockers. We're going to get more in detail with the perimeter blockers on this particular call. Number one, have a language to identify with players and coaches to identify defenders. All of us on this call, you run the slot tee, you run the wing tee, you run the fly offense. You don't see the defense that other people see. They've got a defense just for you. So we have a way to identify defenders that I think is unique. I think it makes the fly offense unique, and it helps all of our coaches and players communicate with each other, and we can make adjustments during the game. Again, that numbering system is in the first talk that we talked about. We'll cover it briefly here again. And again, we're going to beat you with the sweep, or we're going to beat you with the sweep. If you don't rotate or flow or do something to stop it, to force it, we're going to keep running the sweep. If you do, we have to have an adjustment to beat you, and that's kind of where we're going. So if you were listening to our talks here, we are going in order of the sweeps that we have. So the first talk was our fly sweep based on wide zone blocking, which is the first one that you'll see, the first bullet point you see on the screen, that we've blocked those as wide zone. So we went through our perimeter blocking scheme, how we identify defenders. We'll review that. But we went through our offensive line combo blocks, our you calls and our us calls to know whether I have help or I don't. And we went through all of our blocking schemes, and we went through the fundamentals of how we teach the quarterback and the sweeper to time up the mesh point. We went through the fundamentals of how we time up the fullback and our lead blocker, who is our fullback, and the sweeper, how we time them up to make sure that we can cut when the pads collide. Showed you some good examples, showed you some bad examples. So please make sure, again, I'm going to go fast through those things right now. And this second part of our talk is going to be these perimeter sweeps based on false keys. So 2 plays in one, what we like to call run options. We are going to do those second. And then my third talk will be on our sweep, our cut sweep, which is a C-gap sweep based on the pin and pull. For those of you that are fly sweep runners yourself, you'll know them as green, yellow, and red. Our first one was green. Right now, we're going to talk about the yellow sweeps, and then we'll talk about the red sweeps at the end. I'm going to skip over our outside zone blocking scheme, which was the topic of the first video. We talked about the fundamentals of the ball carrier in the first video. We talked about the fundamentals of the quarterback in the first video. What we did not share in the first video was these false key sweeps. So when we run sweeps based on the false key, we are looking for the wider C or D gap. So again, the D gap is this giant gap on the field. We all know it's good, and we all try to fight to get to it. And sometimes we are limited by how good our edge blockers are at sealing the edge so we can get there. Sometimes the alignment of the defense has a problem. So what we decided to do was create a series of sweeps that were based on inside run plays. We are an A-gap power team. That is, we are 100% dyed in the wool, A-gap power when we run inside. We love to run trap. We love to run wide zone and counter GT to the backside of things. We have a lot of sweeps that are based on those. The number one criteria is, can we stop the feet of the end man on the line? We'll talk about the end man on the line and his techniques, how we identify him here in a second. Can you give the inside linebacker an inside blocking scheme to fit? If the inside linebackers don't see wide zone and they don't see fast flow, sometimes your linemen are limited. You can't get to the inside linebacker. So we've created a series of fly sweeps that help us to hold the inside linebacker and stop the feet of the end man on the line. Number three, with any sweep, I don't care if you're a buck sweep guy, you're a jet sweep guy, it doesn't matter. You got to block the force player on his side of the line of scrimmage. So we're going to talk about how we do that. And the objective of any of our sweeps, any of them that we've got, is to get your best player one-on-one with the deepest defender on the field. That's always the number one or the number four for us. So we're going to talk about how we identify the one and the four. All of that is in the first talk. I hope you get a chance to go back and look at it. If you just jumped in here, we're going to kind of put the cart before the horse for you to get there. We talked about the picture being worth 1,000 words. This was all something we talked about in the first talk of making sure that you're deceptive. You fake long, you give short with the quarterback, the ball carrier getting on the back hip of the fullback and trying to stay wingtip to wingtip. Again, the best plays in football, I said this in the first talk, the best plays in football are when your ball carrier has his arm on the lead blocker. I don't care if that's counter GT. I don't care if that's buck sweep. I don't care if that's fly sweep to the perimeter. Doesn't matter. Those are the best plays in football when you wait till those pads collide and then you cut because you're so close to take care of the defender can't be right in the way that he reacts. Again, all of these are wide zone. Now you're going to see us pitch it to the tailback, same play, but we're going to pitch it to the tailback. So it's two plays in one. Why did our quarterback pitch it? Watch the safety. See him run across the ball and the corner back off? He's looking at the corner. Notice my quarterback's eyes are on the corner. When he sees the cornerback back off, that means he knows there's rotation going. Part of that's game planning. Part of that's what your team, but you can adjust this as the game goes along. And there's wide zone into the boundary. Now, again, if you watch session one, the blocking scheme is exactly the same. So I'm the offensive line coach here at Whiteland I by trade. So I'm going to tell you that this was an us call. These two are blocking this dude. Watch the first talk for an explanation of the you call and the us call. But the point would be we're blocking wide zone into the boundary. And because of the safeties running across the ball, our quarterback knows to pitch it. And we got him outnumbered over here. So again, they can't be right. The defense cannot be right. Again, what did I say on the first slide? We're going to beat you with the sweep or we're going to beat you with the sweep. If you don't run, we're going to hand it to the sweeper. If you do run, we got an option somewhere else. There's an option somewhere else if you don't run with him. If you do run with him, we got a plan. So again, understand what's going on. Here's some more where they pitch it to the back. I just want you to see it. Again, look at the outside linebacker. When they fold people inside, guys, some weeks we're watching the safety. Some weeks we're watching the outside backer. Some weeks we're watching the corner. It just, if we see the adjustment to the sweep, then we know where the ball is going to go. Now, again, maybe your backside plays GT counter. Maybe your backside play is counter crisscross. Maybe your backside plays, again, a lot of you run different offenses on this call. There are things that you can do to be right, where your dudes are right. So again, I'm not going to go over the wide zone blocking scheme because that is on the first slide, the first talk. So the first talk has the wide zone blocking schemes on it. So I'm just going to let it run and let you see it here live. Again, I hope you get a chance to watch the first one. Again, here's a one blocked as wide zone. Sorry, I don't have the snap detector on. So again, you'll notice, watch the reaction of the defense. It's wide zone down here to the bottom of the screen. All right. When they bump like that, the safety's bumping, the corner's moving, outside linebacker's moving. It's just, there's just wide zone into the boundary. So those are good calls for us. That is one example of a false key sweep. All right. Here's the last one of those from this season. Again, same thing. The rotation of the defense determines that we've got them outnumbered on the backside. So you're either play side or backside, and we got to play there. So that is the first false key sweep that we have. We're blocking wide zone into the boundary and the sweep to the field. And we're going for, again, if you're looking for the wide zone blocking schemes, please watch the first talk of the day so you can see those.